For many people around the world, Palestine is a place defined almost entirely by conflict and hardship, a name that conjures images of turmoil, struggle, and uncertainty. The headlines often show us only the pain, the tension, and the daily challenges faced by those who call this land home. But to stop there is to miss so much: the scent of cardamom coffee drifting through a bustling souk, the sight of ancient olive trees that have stood for centuries, and the warmth of a people who greet you with open hearts and genuine curiosity. There is a daily life here, vibrant and full, that rarely makes the news. This is an invitation to look beyond the headlines, to discover a land of breathtaking beauty, deep history, and a remarkable human spirit that endures despite adversity. Here, every sunrise over the Judean desert and every bustling street in Ramallah tells a story of resilience. My journey wasn't about taking sides or making judgments, but about seeing and listening for myself, about being present and open to the stories that unfold in everyday moments. Palestine is a place of contradictions, where laughter spills from cafes just miles from military checkpoints, and where daily life continues in the shadow of uncertainty. To travel here is to hold both beauty and pain at once, to appreciate moments of joy while acknowledging the ever-present hardship. It is to witness children playing in the shadow of walls and families gathering in celebration despite the odds. The rewards are immense: a culture rich in art, music, and food, and people whose resilience and hope can reshape your understanding of endurance. Every meal, every song, every work of art is a testament to the spirit that refuses to be broken. News and travel advisories paint a picture of instability, but to let fear win is to erase the stories of millions simply trying to live, to love, and to dream of a better future for their children. I traveled with caution and respect, seeking the human stories that persist and flourish even in the most difficult circumstances. It is in these stories that the true heart of Palestine is revealed. This is a glimpse into that world, a journey as challenging as it is unforgettable, and one that will forever change the way you see this land and its people. Walking through Jerusalem's old city is like stepping into the heart of human history. Every stone holds a story. The call to prayer echoes through ancient alleyways, blending faith and daily life in a beautiful, chaotic tapestry. In nearby Bethlehem, crossing a checkpoint is a stark introduction to the region's realities. But inside, you find vibrant community and profound spiritual significance. Visiting the Church of the Nativity, descending into the grotto, I felt the weight of history and hope. Yet, the story isn't just in the stones, it's in the faces of shopkeepers, the laughter of children, and the quiet dignity of families. These cities are living museums and homes, shaped by history and the ever-present tension of modern conflict. The Western Wall, Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and Dome of the Rock create a unique spiritual energy, but also a constant source of tension. To visit is to witness this duality, faith and history alongside the heavy reality of modern conflict. To truly understand Palestine, you must leave behind the bustling cities and venture into the countryside, a landscape shaped by centuries, marked by rugged, breathtaking beauty and a sense of timelessness. Rolling hills and ancient villages stretch across the West Bank, where the past is alive in every terraced hillside and weathered stone wall. Here, history is not just remembered, it is lived, woven into the very fabric of daily life. The olive tree is the enduring symbol of this land, resilient, ancient, and deeply rooted. Some trees have stood for hundreds, even thousands of years, surviving drought, conflict, and change. For Palestinian families, olive trees are more than a source of income. They are a living heritage, a connection to ancestors who once tended the same groves, and a promise to future generations. The olive harvest is a time of community, a cherished ritual passed down for generations. It is a season of hard work, laughter, and shared meals beneath the trees, where stories and traditions are handed down. Walking through a grove with a farmer, I learned how these trees are living title deeds, silent witnesses to a family's enduring presence. Each tree tells a story of survival, care, and belonging. Even here, conflict is never far. Settler-only roads and hilltop settlements overlook Palestinian villages, casting long shadows over daily life and the landscape itself. Farmers face restrictions, threats, and the risk of losing their trees, making the harvest not just a tradition, but an act of defiance and belonging, a way to assert their right to remain on their land. The serene beauty of the hills is layered with injustice and struggle. Every sunrise brings hope, but also reminders of the challenges that persist. Harvesting olives becomes a reaffirmation of one's right to the land, a daily act of resilience and pride in the face of adversity. This is the complex reality of Palestine, stunningly beautiful, deeply historic, and profoundly contested, where every olive tree and rolling hill tells a story of endurance and hope. Sharing a meal in Palestine is to be welcomed into its heart. Food here is a celebration of family, community, and the land's generosity. Every dish tells a story: creamy hummus, smoky baba ganoush, tangy tabbouleh, and fresh flatbread. In Nablus, I tasted nafe, a dessert that's pure local pride, prepared with theater and shared with joy. In Hebron, I joined a family from Akluba, a communal meal flipped dramatically onto a platter, met with cheers and laughter. Hospitality, or diafa, is sacred. Guests are treated as family, and sharing food is an act of resilience. Even in scarcity, generosity persists. To offer food freely is a statement of abundance of spirit. Food is the language of welcome, a way of preserving dignity and culture. Every meal is a reminder. Despite everything, Palestinians still have something beautiful to share. To eat here is to taste history, resistance, and hope. No journey through Palestine avoids the reality of checkpoints, concrete, steel, and barbed wire that shape daily life. These barriers are not just physical obstacles. They are daily reminders of the boundaries that define and confine movement, freedom, and hope. For travelers, checkpoints are a brief inconvenience, a momentary pause in an otherwise fluid journey. But for Palestinians, they dictate every aspect of existence, from the mundane to the life-changing. I watched as people queued for hours at Kalandia checkpoint, commutes stretched into ordeals, faces etched with exhaustion. The wait is not just for passage, but for a sense of normalcy that never quite arrives. A simple trip to work, school, or a hospital becomes a logistical nightmare, dependent on the mood of a soldier or a sudden closure. Even emergencies are not exempt from these delays, adding layers of fear and frustration. The psychological toll is immense. Uncertainty and anxiety are constant companions. Every crossing is a gamble, and the stress seeps into every part of daily life. I met a student who leaves home at 4 a.m. for a 9 a.m. lecture, never sure if she'll make it. Her story is not unique. It echoes in the footsteps of thousands who rise before dawn, hoping today will be easier. As a visitor, your foreign passport grants you privileges denied to those beside you, a sharp reminder of the tiered system of rights. The contrast is stark, and the sense of injustice is impossible to ignore. Checkpoints are more than barriers. They divide land, families, and lives, entrenching a sense of use and them. The separation is not just physical, but emotional and psychological, deepening wounds that are slow to heal. They are a visible reminder that two peoples live under vastly different realities, their daily experiences shaped by which side of the wall they call home. To witness this is to understand the depth of the division, and to feel the weight of a conflict that is written into the landscape itself. The lines of separation are everywhere, shaping every journey, every interaction, and every hope for the future. The scars of conflict are etched into Palestine's cities and countryside. In Hebron, netting protects homes from debris thrown by settlers above, and shuttered shops create ghostly streets. The separation wall is the most imposing scar. Concrete slabs, watchtowers, and barbed wire slicing through communities. For Palestinians, it's an apartheid wall that annexes land and imprisons neighborhoods. Yet the wall has become a canvas for powerful art, murals and graffiti reclaiming space, shouting stories of hope and protest. The devastation in Gaza casts a long shadow, a reminder of the fragility of life here. Even in relative calm, the fate of Gaza is on everyone's mind. The echoes of conflict are not just history, they shape fears and futures every day. Amidst checkpoints and scars, what shines brightest in Palestine is the spirit of its people, sumud, or steadfastness. Sumud is not passive. It's an active choice to endure and maintain dignity. I met Fatima, who runs a women's cooperative, preserving traditional embroidery and creating income despite immense challenges. Her work is cultural preservation and resistance, every stitch a story, every dress a statement of identity. The younger generation, too, refuses to be defined by struggle alone. In Ramallah, I saw youth creating, innovating, and connecting with the world, building a new Palestinian identity. Their hope is pragmatic, focused on building a better future, one project at a time. In Gaza, a young man told me, I need to stay in my land. My life, my family, my memories are here. Across Palestine, Sumud is the farmer returning to his grove, the shopkeeper reopening, the family rebuilding. To exist is to resist. Sumud is the life force of Palestine. It's the most powerful impression a visitor can take away. Traveling to Palestine is a privilege that comes with responsibility. Listen to people's stories with an open mind. Your role is to bear witness, not to solve. Support the local economy, stay in Palestinian-owned guest houses, eat local, and buy from artisans. Seek out tours that offer nuanced perspectives and empower local communities. Be mindful with photography. Ask permission, focus on art and daily life, and avoid reinforcing stereotypes. Educate yourself before and after your visit. Read, watch, and follow Palestinian voices. Arrive informed for deeper conversations and understanding. When you return, share the stories of resilience and hope you encountered. In doing so, you help humanize a story too often reduced to headlines. A journey to Palestine changes you. It lingers in your senses and your heart. You return with memories of taste, scent, and sound, but more importantly, with a new understanding of hope, resilience, and injustice. The beauty here is defiant, blooming beside concrete walls, a duality that makes the experience unforgettable. You are not just a tourist, but a witness to daily struggle and joy. Palestine's story is a microcosm of global struggles for rights and justice, but at its core, it's about people. Families, students, artists, all seeking dignity and freedom. To ignore their story is to ignore our shared humanity. I found hardship, but also warmth, humor, and unyielding belief in a better future. Once you see Palestine, you can never look away. That is why it stays with you.